Produced by
a panac, okay, growing to about 18 plus inches, an Adonis, 39.4 inches of standard length, okay, an Adonis. Think about that one for a second. Let that sink in. An Adonis Pleco. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seriously, seriously, you must have a bloody pond at this point. You can imagine my next question, right? Right. An Adonis. Okay. And then I just had to. I'm so sorry, but I had to ask this very bloody important question here, okay? Just out of curiosity, how big are your tanks? Question mark. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Malik at Malik's Water Garden. I'm here today actually just to let you guys know why you should not get a Pleco. Okay, this video is about why people should not get a Pleco, because a Pleco is not a term that describes one particular type of fish. So when somebody's getting a Pleco, they are actually just putting themselves in trouble. So this video is just gonna be one of many installments about this topic, why people should not get a Pleco. So please, if you haven't, subscribe down below and hit the notification icon so you get updated when this type of videos get uploaded. I'm gonna upload a bunch of new videos about this, as well a bunch of new stuff coming out about the fish room. There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of stuff coming, so please stay tuned. Also new baby fish, couple of unboxing videos as well that I have to edit and upload. But yes, please subscribe down below and hit that notification icon if you haven't. And thank you so much for your support. The channel's growing. It's like 226 subscribers at this point I'm recording this, so it goes keeps growing up every time I check. So thank you so much for that. I love you all. Oh hey, hi, how are you guys? What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Malik at Malik's Water Garden, and we're gonna make a video that actually is gonna be a part of a series. This series is gonna be why you should not get a Pleco. And this is actually not to discourage people from getting a Pleco, but to encourage people to do their research and to also find out exactly what they're getting into before they pick up this fish. One of the first things that I'm going to tell you guys is this. A Pleco is a general term used to define a variety of fish. Over 600 different species of catfish fall under this giant term Pleco. So when somebody says a Pleco, you could be getting anything from something that grows this big to something that could grow potentially this big. Yes, Plecos can get this big. So when I say this, please take heed. Do not pick up a Pleco. If you're getting something, know what you're getting. Like for example, these fish right here, I don't know if you can see, I'll put some B-roll. There's Plecos in here, two different kinds actually. There's L340 Hypencestrus Mega Clown, or whatever they are. L340, that's the scientific number, or the designation for that particular fish, because we don't have a scientific name yet. But I know exactly what they are because I know how big they get, I know what they eat, I know their requirements, what type of temperature to keep them at, and all that. I have a L01A Rhine loricaria in here, which is a red lizard catfish. Really beautiful. They're spawning right now, and I know exactly what they are. So I know what I got when I got them, and they're in a group. Okay, so that's another thing. So I will get to some of these points, but please, the biggest thing people need to consider is figure out what you're getting. Ask the person you're buying what type of fish it is, actual scientific name, or an L number or an LDA number. If they do not give you one of these three different things, then do not buy that fish. And secondarily, as soon as you know what that is, go online, Google the name, and then find out what type of fish this is, and if what that person is saying is accurate. And then also to correlate, because as soon as you Google, you'll see pictures of the fish. So then you can say, oh, this is actually the fish that he's telling me. And then you can find out how big this animal is going to get, which is one of the main things you need to consider, because some of these fish can get very large. This tank is 40 gallons. It's 39 actually. It's a little bit smaller than a 40 gallon. Okay, it's 20 inches tall, 12 inches across. So I cannot keep anything that grows more than 5 or 6 inches in this tank. So if I were to get a fish unknowingly that could potentially grow to, let's say, 18 inches, which is pretty common for a lot of the cactus plecos, which a lot of people buy. Which is, think about the situation you're going to put yourself in. A fish that could grow up to 18 inches within a short period of time in a 40-gallon tank. You're not going to be happy. The fish is not going to be happy. So this is something you really need to consider. Do not get a pleco if you do not know what type of pleco it is. Okay? I'm going to keep doing this just to drill it into your head. Pleco does not mean anything except you saying bird to describe a bird. That's essentially what a pleco is. It's a type of catfish. It's as much as a general term as saying catfish. Okay? So essentially, you should not get a pleco. Okay? Find out what you're getting, find the name, research, find how big it's going to get. Secondarily, when you know this information about the species, you will also know what it's going to eat. A lot of animals have a very specific dietary requirement. It's so sad to see so many pictures on Facebook of people saying, what's wrong with my fish? And you definitely know that the fish is suffering because you fed it something that it's not supposed to eat. I've seen fish that have bubbles growing on the side of it, pictures of fish with like pustules, prolapse. Imagine the situation you're putting these animals through, okay? This is not fair for the fish, and obviously not fair for you, because a lot of these plecos are very expensive. So this is what actually caused me today to make this video. This is something I saw this morning. This was a post made on Pleco Keepers and Breeders. It's a pretty big site, Facebook group, which is about 14,000 members, I believe. And I'm not gonna say the person's name, or I'm not gonna put the comments or anything, but I'm just gonna put a general idea to give you the situation that a lot of people put themselves on before thinking. Okay, so the original post: what vegetables should you not give your pleco, if any? She does not put quotation, I just did the air quotes. But what vegetables should you not give your pleco, if any? Okay, so puts a bunch of hearts, see right there. Okay, so anyways, I go on to write, depends on the type of pleco, haha. There's over 600 fish species that fit under the label pleco. Gotta be a bit more specific, LOL. Right? So then she goes on to write, first thing out of the top, I have 2 comments, which means they're gonna be massive. Okay? These fish are gonna grow to 18 to 24 inches within a short period of time. Gonna be big fish. Okay, 2 common plecos. A spotted cactus pleco. Okay, so a spotted cactus pleco is something that grows to about 13.5 inches. I'll put the L number down below so you can see and how big it's getting. 13.5 inches. Okay, so second fish. A golden nugget. Again, golden nugget plecos are something that grows quite large. Okay, a blue-eyed panac. 18 plus inches is not uncommon. Imperial coal. I'm not too familiar with that pleco, but I'm pretty sure it's something that gets quite large. A watermelon. Again, a panac. Okay, growing to about 18 plus inches. An Adonis, 39.4 inches of standard length. Okay, an Adonis. Think about that one for a second. Let that sink in. An Adonis pleco. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seriously? Seriously? You must have a bloody pond at this point. You can imagine my next question, right? Right. An Adonis. Okay. And a leopard cactus pleco. Again, something that grows to about 13.5 inches. Everything in this tank is monsters. Okay? Monsters. So, I go on to say, one of each, question mark. Lol. Since it's a variety of different fish that require different food types, panacs need wood in their diet within brackets. Some of the other fish you have are predominantly carnivores, like the leopard cactus and the spotted cactus. Also the Adonis is an omnivore, but it will eat predominantly meat when they're young. One of each. Okay. Try sticking to the basic stuff like zucchini, green peas, green beans, etc. Also, you can try organic spirulina tablets. I'm just trying to help at this point, okay? I feel I feed that to all my different species of hive ancestors. Personally, I would recommend at least 2 separate tanks, one for the wood-eating types of fish. With a lot of their food, you can feed tank additional vegetables content. So I'm just basically giving recommendations at this point, just as whatever. And then just to say, many of the other can reach close to 20 inches. You know, so I just gave her some idea of how big the fish are gonna get. And then I just had to. I'm so sorry, but I had to ask this very bloody important question here. Okay, just out of curiosity, how big are your tanks? Question mark. And then also, you know, just yeah, tank also, okay? Secondarily, question mark. So, repeating the question again, just out of curiosity, how big are your tanks? Hoping she has more, but then I also wrote tank question mark, so you know, whatever. So she wrote back, we have a 75 gallon. A 75 gallon. Something that's twice as big as this, okay? A 75 gallon at best. So it's not a 6-footer. It's probably 4 feet long, maybe 5 feet long. No, I wouldn't guess 5 feet, maybe. It's a small tank, okay? It's not a big tank. 75 gallons is not a big tank. Just drill that into your heads. 75 gallons is not a big tank. It's very long, so maybe a 5-foot 75 gallon and filled with a ton of driftwood. So that's good. There's at least that consideration taken into consideration that some of the fish do eat wood. So I don't know if that's why they put the wood or if it's just for aesthetics. But thank God the tank has wood for the wood-eating fish. Okay, because I'm pretty sure they're not feeding them any higher-end brands of food like these Sarah Wells chips. Like unpaid. I love this food because my fish love this food. It has wood in it. A lot of wood-eating fish should be fed this stuff. I recommend it. But I'm pretty sure they're not doing this. They're probably not feeding them anything that is other than just commercial fish food and trying to throw vegetables in there like out of their fridge just to keep these fish fed. Okay? So, so then she goes on to saying, it's very long and filled with the driftwood and hidden spaces or spots. Hopefully upgrading to a 210 gallon soon. A 210 gallon is still not enough for most of the fish in this tank. So this is what a lot of people don't understand. A 210 gallon tank might be a big tank for you. But for a fish that grows 18, 20, 25, even in the case of the Adonis Pleco that can grow up to 39.4 inches. I'm going to put the link to the site where it says that. So you can actually look at it yourself. This fish grows as big as a small person, okay? So, no, like, you cannot keep it in a 210 gallon tank long term, okay? So, yes, soon. So they're upgrading soon, eventually. So they haven't bought that yet. Again, you are putting yourself in some serious situations by buying these larger types of fish without research. So I go on to saying, hopefully sooner than later, your Adonis Pleco will need a pond eventually, which is not an exaggeration. It is a big fish, okay? It cannot live in a tank unless the tank is like 4,000 gallons, okay? Ohio Fish Rescue, I'm going to put their link down here, and we'll have tanks that can hold some of these fish. So if you are buying these fish in the hopes of donating to Ohio Fish Rescue eventually, then yes, by all means grow them out for them. But otherwise, you are just doing yourself and the animal a disservice. You're putting yourself in some serious trouble here, okay? I'm not even going to get beyond this point. I stopped, you know, whatever. I just stopped saying, but then they went on to commenting. He's super small, maybe 3 inches right now, LOL. Nobody over 8 inches long. And then I stopped commenting at this point. I'm just done. I have better things to do with my life. But I do feel bad for the fish. Some of the comments other people wrote. Turnip makes the house reek of Sunday dinner fart. Plus they don't appear to eat it either. So somebody had thrown turnips into their tank. How disgusting. Okay? Do not do that. Do not feed your fish anything that you do not know what it is going to do to the fish. Turnip is not something you can feed your fish. I would recommend zucchini, spinach, maybe if they eat it. Also green beans. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Maybe potatoes, like fresh potatoes. But again, I don't feed potatoes, so I wouldn't recommend it. Just stick to the basic stuff that the fish are meant to eat in the wild, okay? Find out what this fish is supposed to eat in the wild and try to feed it that, or something close to it in in terms of nutrition and in terms of actual food in the food itself, whatever the basic food elements it's made out of. Like for example, feed a fish food that has predominantly fish or fish meal or protein from fish sources or marine aquatic sources or marine vegetable sources. You know what I mean? Instead of soybean or wheat flour or anything like that. You know? So that's essentially the second point, which goes. This is just. I'm not gonna ramble. But this just really frustrates me. You know? It really frustrates me to see people doing this, buying animals without knowing what they're getting. So please, 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 research. Okay, research. I will put some B-roll footage throughout the video of all the different fish that I have, so you can see. And I feed a variety of food. So if you haven't checked out my fish food video, please go down and check that out. I'll put the link down here at the end of this video. You can see it. It's an ultimate fish food guide of all the foods I feed my fish. It's predominantly for hypensestrus and other aquatic fishes that are smaller, that can be kept in a 40-gallon or smaller tank. This is actually even pushing it, having discus. There's only a pair of discus in this tank. I don't keep more than 2 of these in a tank this size. It's just not realistic long term. Imagine a size animal this big peeing and pooing for, let's say, a week, which is when I do my water changes. A week's worth of pee and poo, their own pee and poo in this tank. And the filter doesn't really remove all that stuff that efficiently. If you have over concentration, the filters are not always capable of removing all that. That's why you have nitrate spikes and all that. And most people don't have the ability to do water changes, or don't have the time to do water changes every week. So sometimes a lot of people do their water changes every other week or once a month. So imagine an animal or a bunch of animals living in a closed environment, peeing and pooing in there constantly and living in its own poo. Now to add like a pleco, which is something that is that big, potentially a pleco, right? A common pleco or a sailfin, which again, big fish, that produces quite a bit of waste, okay? And that's going to be the next video we're going to talk about. I'm actually going to make another video about why plecos are not good cleaner fish. There's no such thing as a cleaner fish. Clean your tanks. Do water changes. And again, these are things I'm just reading on Facebook. It really frustrates me. The other day I was reading somebody on a hypensestrus zebra group was saying, asking the question if people were using RO water and remineralizing it to remove nitrates and other nasties. And I really want to know, like, do they understand the nitrogen cycle? Because nitrates are a byproduct of an aquarium, okay? So really briefly, you know, you cannot remove nitrates from your tank. If you have fish in it, that's gonna have nitrates. It's gonna produce nitrates. The only way to remove these nitrates is by doing water changes. I'm so angry when I see this type of stuff. Like, you can see my face. I'm ready to burst. I'm ready to burst. Frustration really boils my blood when I see this type of post. But anyways, nitrates are a byproduct of fish biological activity, like piss and poop and gill functions. So there's nitrates in the water as the fish lives. One thing you can do to reduce the amount of nitrates in the water, aside from doing water changes obviously, is to have live plants. Some plants are better at sucking nitrates than others, so find out what those are. I'm going to do a video on that specifically, so that's coming up soon. So let's get to 250 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down below so we can get to 250 subscribers, so that the channel, I can upload the ultimate hypensestrus zebra pleco care guide, which is going to encompass all hypensestrus species, which is one of the main types of fish I'm breeding and keeping right now, which I'm going to release for 250 subscribers. And after that, I'm gonna release all these other videos that I'm planning. So please subscribe down below, and if you haven't, please hit the notification icon so you get updated when that video and other videos like that get uploaded. And I thank you for your support. I'm not gonna make any more rants about this today, but rest assured, another rant is coming about Pleco fish. This is gonna be a series. I'm making a full series about Pleco fish and why people should not buy a Pleco. Okay, this is not to discourage people from buying Plecos or types of ancestors, or other types of Pleco fish, but to educate people into getting them to understanding what the responsibilities of having a Pleco fish is. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep doing Pleco every single time I use the word Pleco, because it's not a term that describes any particular animal. Okay, so as always, I thank you for your support. I love you all. If you haven't, please like this video down below, as it always helps me. And please share this with your friends, and please educate everybody around you and other fish keepers about Pleco fish and why people should not get a Pleco fish. Thank you so much. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, God bless.